Holland.
Hey, my name is Dries. I'm working for Intelligence Germany. I've studied computer science and neuroinformatics some years ago, focusing on recurrent neural networks. I'm now leading the IoT Innovation Lab here in Germany, and we are now focusing on a couple of interesting innovative use cases, especially in the farming area. And we invented the Farm Network platform in 2017 and won the hackathon, the first global hackathon for NTT data. And we now want to bring it to the International Greenhouse Challenge.
Hi, my name is Tristan and I work for the innovation team of Intelligence Germany. My personal background is mechanical engineering and computer science, and within our team we have been focusing on farming technologies and farming solutions and urban farming solutions the last 2 years, and we also developed the Farm Network within our team, and we're really happy to show our AI approach for the Greenhouse Challenge, and we will see, maybe we can take part in the next generation of food production.
Let's move to the next. Sidonia, do we have Alexander?
Oh, over here.
Yes, hello everyone. We're represented by 3 members. I can remember the day that we've applied for the challenge. It was challenging itself because I've got the information very last day at the end of the working day. My Dutch colleague told me that there will be the 2nd edition. So it was a matter of couple phone calls and just asking, are you in? And these guys accepted the idea. And basically the team consists of employees of company Fito from Russia. We are busy with the commissioning greenhouses. We also have some own technology solutions, but we use the Dutch technology as well because it's one of the best, or the best one in the world, to be honest. So we represent the team of R&D. We're doing our own analytics to improve the performance of the greenhouses that we have on our own, and also the greenhouses of our customers. The second part is represented by a startup called BAMTech. Here we have Maxim. That's the startup that was a little bit surprising for me, because these guys, they were coming to our greenhouse and asking if we can test our equipment. So they do the pollination and pollinators control. So it's quite nice solution using the artificial intelligence. And they are also testing it not only with us, but also with the partners internationally. So it will be challenging for both parts of the team to act, because for them climate control and the biology agronomy part is more difficult one. For us, the challenge is that we get used to work with the semi-closed greenhouses. Also, to assist, we have 2 students, one PhD student from Moscow State University, Ekaterina. She will help us with getting right signals from the crop. And also we have the student, bachelor student, Ivan from Timirazyev Academy. That's the agriculture academy in Russia. So with that one, we basically cover all the competencies we need. Then it's just a matter of getting the idea, what we can do on the hackathon and further. Thanks.
Hello. I'm Alexey, and as a senior software developer with a background of high-level database solution used for data analysis, I will be responsible for building a data lake and implementing our models in a high-performance code. Thank you for your time. Bye.
This is the wrong video, sorry.
Okay.
It was a 2-minute video. But
I will look for it. This was the... Okay.
yeah, just to
Sorry.
have an idea that was not only...
Yeah, of course. check it.
Well, your speech was long, so...
That compensates.
Sorry for that. I will look for it. Yes. So now, oh.
We have 2 more teams.
Yes. This is Saturnalia.
Ah, over there.
So hello everyone, we are the team Saturnalia, so please stand up, you nerd. And basically we are the only 3 technical guys in this team, and we are representing the 3 institutes. So 3 of us are from the University of British Columbia in Canada, and we have scientists from the National Research Council Canada and 1 from the agricultural company in Canada. So the reason why we have the name Saturnalia, because Saturnalia is the name of the god in ancient times. So we hope with the blast from Saturnalia we can finally win the title, or maybe not. But the thing is, the low expectation, the high hope. So our low expectation is win the title first, and we are really eager to learn more things here, because Wageningen University is one of the best agricultural university in the world, and I believe all of you are the best of the best in the agriculture and in the artificial intelligence, and we are really eager to learn and do the research from you and bring this knowledge to contribute to the communities in both China and Canada. And that's it. Thank you.
Hello everyone. We are the team Saturnalia for this international challenge. Currently, the global hunger has declined in recent decades, but remains severely in some countries, which is caused by the shortage of healthy food. For producing healthy food, the greenhouse farming is widely adopted around the world. However, current greenhouse system requires skilled and experienced workers to manage the system, which also brings higher labor costs. Therefore, our team Saturnalia aims to provide an innovative autonomous system for the greenhouse based on one of the most advanced AI algorithms, high-accuracy reinforcement learning. In our team, we have Fang Rui Liu, Xu Fei Wang, and Jun Chubin, who are the graduate students at the University of British Columbia in Canada. They have both industrial and academic experiences in image processing, software engineering, and machine learning. They are the main developer for this project. Mr. Roland Patier is the expert, who is also the founder of agricultural company in Canada. He will provide the team with his knowledge in agriculture. Besides, we have Dr. Gao Zhixiao and Dr. Zhang Liu, who are the experts in sensor, wireless sensor network, and data fusion. That's the introduction of our team Saturnalia, and thanks for listening.
So I think we can move to the last team. Hi, Tomato. Yeah.
Oh, over there.
Good morning, everyone. We are the team Hi Tomato from Harbin Institute of Technology in China. As you can see, most of our team members are undergraduate students, and we will do our best in the competition, both in agriculture and artificial intelligence. We are glad to make friends with you and work together. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are Jing Kai, Li Jingshi, Lu Jialin. We are students of Harbin Institute of Technology. We major in automation. In the competition, we mostly focus on the design of automatic control system, the optimization of parameters, the layout of sensor network, and the application of sensors.
Hello, my name is Wang Shenzhe, and my major is computer science. My job in this project is to find a appropriate model for the vector data and come up with some effective algorithms to find a better strategy for the plot. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm James in our team. I'm responsible for testing data and presenting improved algorithms.
My name is Wei Fuxuan, working for the algorithm part. I work with data and help build the AI framework.
Hello, my name is Shen Rujia. My major is computer science, and my job is to develop a predictive model and propose an algorithm. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Li Jingfeng, and my name is Shu Ruiqi. We come from the Department of Computer Science in Harbin Institute of Technology. And our work is to train machine learning models and analyze data.
Hello, my name is Ma Hongxue. My duty is to make agricultural suggestions for the growth and development of tomatoes.
Last one.
Yeah. So this was the last one. And if the team Saidonia can forgive me, I will look for your video and I will present it at the end of these presentations. So because we have really restricted time. Yeah?
Well, it's as you saw, we have a lot of diversity, a lot of smart brains you're bringing here to this location, so I'm quite proud of that. And it's so interesting to see all your living rooms in these videos. And so I hope you all have a lot of fun. We come now to the serious part. The serious part is explaining on the rules and the goals, and while Isabella is preparing that. So I hope you are prepared to receive that information, and I also hope that you all remember all the names and faces, so it makes it easier to talk to each other this afternoon. Well, I give back the microphone to you, and then you explain us a little bit more on criteria and rules.
So let's start from the criteria. This is something that you already read on the rules, but on the rule document, but it's good to go through all of them. So the first is the team composition. The second one is the strategy and the approach for the growing challenge, and this is something that you will present this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon in front of the jury, and this is 30%. And finally, there's the obtained result, the reaching the goal of the pre-challenge. This is 50%. So we will go through all of them. So team composition means all the different expertise that you have, all the different backgrounds, so the multidisciplinarity characteristic of the team, the internationality, how many countries you have, different nationalities, and also the organizations, the company, the knowledge institutes part of the team, and any other aspect the jury might find relevant. So this will be 20% of the final score. The jury can give a point from 1 to 10, where 10 is the best, and so this will be multiplied by a factor 2. Then we have the strategy and approach that we will present during the presentation. So regarding the approach, we have the novelty. So the novelty, what is new with respect to the scientific community. The functionality, so is your approach, is your strategy, your algorithm able to work remotely without any manual intervention? This is the functionality. Then we have the robustness, so is it able to operate without aid of so many sensors, additional sensors? And the easiness of implementation on a large scale, so the scalability will be the four criteria. So in addition to that, remember that you have a maximum time of 10 minutes during the pitch, and then maximum 5 minutes for the questions from the jury. So this will be another factor that we take into consideration, and also any other aspects that the jury can consider relevant. And then it comes the last part, so the 50%, and also in this case it's a point from 1 to 10, where 10 is the best, and it will be multiplied by a factor of 3. And then we have the 50% of the final score, and it's the goal of the hackathon. And here, as you can see, we have a ranking, and the maximum will be 50 points. So in total, in this hackathon, the maximum number of points that can be achieved is 100. Okay, so what's the goal of this hackathon? Now I'll shortly explain what's the general goal, but then in the next presentation of my colleague Anne, all the technical details and information will be given. So the teams will have to maximize the net profit while growing virtual tomatoes interacting in the simulator environment. So the net profit, achieving the highest net profit will be the goal. As I said, the net profit and how is it calculated will be explained later on. Some rules. Maybe you will have many questions, so please send us an email. Don't approach us in person, just send us an email to the autonomousgreenhouse@wur.nl as you did in these last few months. How do we evaluate the file, so the parameter file? You know that the simulator will close tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. So we will evaluate the last parameter running on the simulator. So please, maybe also back up your best parameter file on your PC, but we will judge the last parameter file run on the simulator. Is that clear? Any question on that?
And make sure you submit it before 1.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like submitting research proposals. Be on time.
Yeah. Yes, so this presentation and then the next presentation from my colleagues and also an update of the technical document will be sent after the opening ceremony before 1. So then you will have all this information written. Then I would like to remark that the simulation environment is a sort of gaming environment. So we try to be as much as realistic as possible, but it's always a gaming environment. So we would like that the teams are aware that any issues that they find, you have to deal with that. So please be aware of that. Unexpected things can happen, so be aware of that. And then there was a question about, do we have any restriction on the number of simulation we can run? Basically, the limitation is the simulation time for the period that you choose. So let's say that it can be within 10 seconds to 30 seconds. So let's suppose it takes 20 seconds. You will have more or less 5,000 simulation in the 24 hours, a bit more of 4,000. Okay, so if you simulate a small period, maybe it takes 10 seconds. If you simulate the whole period, it will take 30 seconds. Also clear? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Anne, maybe?
The only thing that counts is the net profit. That's all. How you realize that, that's up to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. And then I would like to point out the wildcard option. So as you have noticed, we have 2 teams from last year. And only if none of them don't qualify at the hackathon, the jury can give them one wildcard to the best one. Okay? If they qualify, yeah, on their own is not a problem, but only if they don't qualify, they can give to the best a wildcard. Yes? So, these are the main rules for today. I also would like to encourage and say something is not a rule, but yeah, oh sorry, yeah. Yeah. It will go at the cost of one of the 5, yes. So in total is 5 places for the next phase. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So, and then some additional rules or suggestion is that you can interact with your friends or with all the other teams. You can also merge. So last year it happens that two teams during the 24-hour decided to merge and to, let's say, arrive as the same team to the final hackathon. So this is possible. You can also, yeah, you can decide to share your approach or not to share it. Yeah, but you can also merge before.
Can we all listen to Isabella, please?
Yeah. So yeah, so maybe don't see the others as competitors, but also a way of interacting and share. Yeah. That's a good point. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you're getting famous, ICU and automators.
Yes. Yes. So this was my last slide. So I will give the floor to Anne for the technical presentation. Wait, I will change your...
Okay, thank you. Less than 2 hours to go. The clock is ticking. I think all of you is ready. We are ready at 1 o'clock sharp. Gert-Jan, who just came in here, he will switch on the model. How do you say that in English? Let's go down to the technical details, and you better listen up, I think. Although all the information I will present now will also be distributed to you in a document that will be sent or as a PDF, not as hard copy. No. Just to be sure. Okay, you will receive an email with a PDF explaining all what I will present right now. Okay, how does this work? Like that. We will simulate a production of a cherry tomato. A small one, perhaps 10 to 15 grams, 12 grams, 13 grams, that's up to you. Performance system. It is set to be planted mid-December and harvested by the end of May. Of course, you can... no, that's a typing error. Sorry for that. No, that's only half a year. Sorry for that. Yeah. The outdoor environment is given. You cannot alter that, but of course you can change the indoor environment through the greenhouse settings. I will come to that. You can also influence, of course, crop growth and development by influencing temperature, CO2, light, that sort of thing. So anything outside the greenhouse cannot be influenced. Anything inside the greenhouse can be influenced by you. But again, it is a gaming environment and you just have to take it as it comes. If you stretch the model to a situation that we have never tested, and it may do some weird things, because we really have not tested every single situation, then you will just, as Silke and Isabella said, you will have to deal with that. The only thing that counts at the end of the day is your net profit. And if you realize that by some outrageous parameter set, that's all in the game here today. It is a Venlo type greenhouse. Be aware of that. We suppose that all of you know what that is. Cherry tomato, Dutch environment. And you apply 3 models. That is our Caspro greenhouse model that essentially simulates the indoor climate on the basis of the outdoor climate in combination with the various settings. It uses the income crop growth model. I will come to details of that one later on. And we have added an economic module to compute the net profit. So as you go, then all these 3 models will run simultaneously. The last tests I did yesterday took me 8 to 9 seconds, but I've also done tests with some weird parameter sets that took me 40 seconds. So anything may happen. You will have output in 1 hour time step. The economics. Important is that we assume that the crop is not affected by any pest or any disease. So it is completely healthy. You will not have to deal with that. So if you want to raise humidity to 100%, you can do that because there will be no botrytis, to give an example. Next. Okay, a Venlo type greenhouse, the indoor climate is homogeneous. In a real greenhouse, you will have corner effects, and in the center it will be different from the sides. We don't do all that. The entire greenhouse has the same climate. And you will have the following management options. I think you have received information on this earlier on, so you should be aware of this. But nevertheless, I summarize. You have window ventilation, you have heating, and you have ventilation, of course, and you can increase the heating set point dependent on solar radiation. What I give here is just an example where the heating and ventilation set points vary over the day. It's an example because you can change that. And where, dependent on the level of solar radiation, there's a temperature increase on the heating set points. So that's one management option. And in the Dutch climate, where winters can be cold and summers can be hot, this is an important one. What else? The humidity control we have fixed. The consequence is that it has implications for your ventilation opening. So whatever you do with your ventilation, the humidity cannot be, the effect on humidity cannot be altered by you. That is done by the model itself. There are screens. You can have 2 screens for which you have to select from 3 ones. An energy saving one, a shade screen, and a light tight screen or a dark screen that must be applied at nighttime here in this region to avoid light pollution, so that people can actually have a good night of sleep. Assimilation lights can be put on, HPS lamps. You can supply CO2 whenever you want, at a certain cost, of course. I will come to that later on. We would like to point out that when the vents are open, please do consider reducing your CO2 application, as otherwise the CO2 will escape to the outside environment rather than being taken up by the crop. A new one to you is the water application schedule. The test version that you have received a while ago was only a test version, basically to test the IT infrastructure. And I'm pretty sure that you have also tested the computational outcomes, but this one is entirely new to you. We have switched on the water module, which implies that you have to think through your fertigation regime in terms of water application rate and EC. We don't go into as much detail that we consider nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium and all these things, but we do consider the EC. And that does have implications for the benefit. I will come to that. The crop model, I will go through a bit of physiology to make clear what sort of management options you have. That is, to start with, light, which is, of course, the sunlight comes in, but you have your screens, you have your HPS lamps through which you can manipulate the level of light. That has a component of photosynthetically active radiation, which is intercepted by the leaf area. You can manage your leaf area through the leaf removal strategy in the top of the canopy. If you pick more leaves, your leaf area will go down. If you pick less leaves, your leaf area will go up. It's up to you. Then, of course, once the light is intercepted, it drives the photosynthesis. Important to the photosynthesis are the environmental conditions, light, CO2, temperature, humidity, which are user-defined. You can manipulate that. It is also dependent on the stomatal resistance, and there is the link with your water regime. If you do not supply enough water, because you want to save costs, then at some point your stomata will close and your photosynthesis will go down. Then there's maintenance, respiration, and ultimately the net growth rate. Development rate is an important one. Number of fruits per truss and number of stems per square meter, they all determine the number of fruits you actually will harvest. That is all user defined. You can manipulate that. The potential growth rates are computed. You cannot alter that. What you can determine is the fruit dry matter content, which depends in the model on the EC, and linked to that will be the Brix value. And the Brix value will be will lead to a certain financial revenue. So again here, the fertigation regime has an effect on your finances through the dry matter content and the Brix value. I hope I don't go too fast. Okay, the goal. Isabella summarized that accurately as the net profit. Well, that is the gross profit minus the costs. These are the details of the cost computation. It is also in the document you will receive later on. First of all, of course, the fresh production in kilograms per square meter. There will be a price attached to that. But that the price we have made dependent on the Brix value of the produce, which again, I repeat, is related ultimately to the EC value of your irrigation water. And there will be a punishment on a low average fruit weight. We have, the assumption is, and I think that reflects reality, if your fruits are too small, they are not marketable. If they are 11 grams or more per fruit, then they receive 100% of the price. If they are 5 grams each, then they receive no price at all. So, and in between these two values, the prices, in between these two weights, the price is interpolated. So you can put on many fruits and hope that they may lead to a little yield increase, but if the individual weight drops, then your revenue will go down. Here is a slide. Whether it is realistic or not, we will not discuss that one. This is what you have to deal with. Over time, we have assumed a price for a Brix, for fruits with Brix 7 and fruits with Brix 12. And in between these two Brix values, the prices are interpolated. If you have always fruits that have a Brix of 12 and higher, you will have, receive the full price. If they are below Brix 7 or below Brix 6, they will have the lowest price always. In between, there are two levels of interpolation. Is that clear? Somebody has a question. Can you speak up a little, because perhaps my ears are getting old, but...
Who was the question? Oh, over here.
Some minor details. The spoken words were starting in the mid of the month, but on the dates on the sheet did not match with what you spoken. So could you repeat the exact dates of starting and end of the crop cycle? Yeah, the 1st of June was on the slide. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, but the spoken words were like mid of. Yeah. Okay. Then the other questions, because we are in the Netherlands, we have like some kind of light restriction rules, light pollution, to prevent other people from knowing that we are growing food even during evening hours. Is that like a possible penalty? It's not in the model. Okay. Then okay. Thank you.
I have to run back because you don't have a microphone.
You don't have to.
Yeah, sure.
I'm very concerned that you fall. No. That were the revenues. Of course, there are also costs. Well, I don't know whether I have to read this aloud. You can read this by yourself. Anyway, costs are in the seedlings, in the CO2, in the lamps, and in the screens. And what we do have is a usage fraction. As we do not grow a full year, we sort of, what's the English word here? I'm sorry, I'm lost in my English now. We don't assume 365 days, but we assume the 168 days per year plus 14 days that are required to prepare the greenhouse. That is how it is computed. And of course, this bit of computation is the same for everybody. But just to make sure that the arithmetics are understood by everybody. That's up to you. Yeah, that's up to you. But I think that a production of 8 weeks will be a little lower than a production of 4 months. But if you want to do that, yeah, up to you. We don't have an opinion on that one. Variable costs. Again, I'm not going to read them aloud. You can read them here or in the document. There are costs of lighting, heating, CO2 dosing, drain water that must be cleaned for recirculation, and the crop management.
Can you explain a little bit more on the CO2 dosing?
On the CO2 dosing, yeah, that's probably... we want you to be... That does reflect Dutch practice, unlike the light treatment probably. We want you to be careful with CO2 application. So using the first 12 kilograms per square meter is cheaper than you exceeding the first 12 kilograms per square meter. The first 12 kilos come for 8 cents, and above 12 kilograms they come for 20 cents. That's the dosage. Yeah. Good luck.
More
questions, yeah.
I will run if other questions.
On the file, the plan will be translated in 15th December. What's the status of the baby plants? With the flowers or the... I mean, the plants will be transplanted in 15th December, right? So I want to know the status of the seedlings.
How large they are?
Yeah, how large with the box or with the flowers?
At the risk of being not completely accurate, I think they have... At the risk of not being completely accurate, but I think they have one flowering truss at that moment.
We need accurate answer. We need accurate answer. We email that.
Yeah, I do need to look into the parameter file. I will do that.
Other questions? Everything is clear.
Yeah, let's go.
That's good. All right. If you're sure you don't have questions, then I would say...
Sorry, currently all the cost you mentioned is only about the greenhouse management operation and the sales, everything. But if you take AI into account, the cost in the computation is also large about money. So, I mean, in this current stage, you will not consider that, but in the next stage, I think you need to consider about that. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the remark. I think there are more costs which we don't take into consideration, but thanks for the remark. Other questions? If not, we then close the opening ceremony. Before you all go away, I would need Jennifer here. Oh, I have Sabine. Just a moment. Sabine, I need you. Yeah, somebody has to guide the people to the different rooms. Oh, yes, okay. So what? Ah, here you have Jennifer. Before you leave, this is Jennifer. Remember her face. She is very important. She knows everything on this location, and she will be with you also this night. Before you all leave, we have made a map of this location, and we have dedicated different working places to the different teams. We have a tent outside, we have these rooms, we have some other rooms, and Jennifer will be the one guiding you to the right location. That is number one I would like to mention. The second one is if somebody has problems with Wi-Fi connection, we have somebody from our ICT department around, so if there are questions, we can grab him and help you in getting connected. Then I think I give the microphone to you. Is that? Yeah, so, okay. Almost ready for, we are earlier, so maybe in between also some remarks. You see, we are with a lot of people. You also see that we are on a tiny location. So it is a lot of chaos, improvising, and I hope on your help and creativity to get to all kinds of practical solutions and well, help us a little bit getting the things settled, but I'm quite sure we can manage. Okay, Team Amazona. If you go with Sabine. Hey, Sean. Okay. Rotterdam AI.
You can go with me.
Okay. Now first wait until these people have been moving.
Ja, jullie mogen met spieren mee.
Ja.
Oh, sorry. Nee, dat is een
Yeah? Yeah, you go also with the others? Okay. If they are out, okay. So, next one. Human AI Corporation and C-Plant. If you can come to the front and go together with Chantal. And maybe that's also the time to say goodbye to the live stream, because now we are reorganizing the whole location. Thanks for listening.